Hi, this is Mr. Ward, and this is the video key for the exit ticket 36.1 if you're in B block, 36.2 if you're in A block, and 36.3 if you're in D block. And we want to first factor this, x squared minus 16x plus 64. And this is a perfect square. We're looking for two factors of 64 that add up to negative 16. So 64 is either 8 times 8 or negative 8 times 8. It's got other factors too, but those are the ones that will be useful for us. 8 plus 8 is 16, but we need negative 16. So we're going to use the negative 8 times and the negative 8 and the negative 8 version of the factors. So it's going to be x minus 8 times x minus 8, and then we could just say that's x minus 8 squared since they are the same factor being used twice, and that's what an exponent means. It tells you how many times you're using a factor. Now, we've got x squared plus 6x equals 27, and we want to add something to both sides. So the left side is a perfect square. Well, to make this a perfect square, we want to add the square of half of 6. Half of 6 is 9, so we're going to be adding 9 to both sides. So take x squared plus 6x equals 27, and we're going to say plus 9, and we will end up with x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals 36. Now, if you know how to solve by completing the square, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do that myself. So we're going to factor this because it's now a perfect square. X plus 3 squared equals 36. Now we get the square root of both sides. Square root of x plus 3 squared is x plus 3. The square root of 36 is 6. And also negative 6. So we got to solve both of those equations. So x will equal negative 3 plus 6, which is just 3. And x will equal, we subtract 3 from both sides to get rid of the plus 3, negative 3 minus 6, which will be negative 9. So we have x-intercepts at 3, 0, and negative 9, 0. We'll take a look at the next one. Here we're going to do something similar. We're going to add something to both sides so that the left side is a perfect square. Okay, so to get a perfect square, you want the last term to be, assuming this lead coefficient is 1, you want to get that to be a lead coefficient of 1 by factoring out whatever. We don't have to do that now. But we want to get half of 12 squared, half the middle coefficient squared added. So half of 12 is 6. So we're going to add 6 squared to both sides. And 6 squared is 36. So we're adding 36 to both sides. On the left side, I wrote it as 6 squared because now I'm going to go ahead and complete the square. Actually, I'll go ahead and finish this. That's going to be x squared plus 12x plus 6 squared. I'm leaving the 36 like that. And negative 31 plus 36 is 5. Okay, now we're going to complete the square. And the first thing to do is factor the left side, which will be x plus 6 squared. And the other side is just 5. The next step is to get the square root of both sides. The square of x plus 6 is just x plus 6. And the square root of 5 is the square root of 5. Of course, there's the plus version. And there's a minus version. And then all that's left to do is subtract 6 from both sides. So when I subtract 6 from this one, it just becomes x. And I put negative 6 here. Negative 6 plus square root of 5. And negative 6 minus the square root of 5. And those are your solutions. And so we actually have x-intercepts at, copy this. You can actually write these as x-intercepts. So 6 plus negative 6 plus the square root of 5, 0. I know that looks wonky, but it is completely legit to do it this way. And negative 6 minus the square root of 5, comma 0. Those are your x-intercepts. Those are the exact versions of them. And I hope that was helpful.